I was hanging out in the smoking section with a girl, and one of the girls who works there came out and joined us. She is sort of friends with the girl I was with. We spent maybe an hour just hanging out talking, and she randomly slapped me across the face. Apparently, some other person I sort of know said it was okay. I was kind of in shock by all of this, so I didn't have much of a reaction. The girl I was with was saying how messed up it was that she randomly slapped me. I don't really know what to do. I went into the bar the next day and said one of your bartenders slapped me in the face last night. The girl bartender working laughed it off and said I must have deserved it. I had asked out the girl who slapped me maybe 3 to 4 months ago, and since then, she hasn't liked me. I don't know if I should let it go or try to get her fired. It's the only bar in this town, so I don't want to burn bridges. It seems all the bartenders have each other's backs despite randomly striking me. I just know if I randomly slap someone, I would likely be arrested or, at the very least, banned from the bar. Story 1. I think you have two options. Option A, let it go. It's a small town with one bar, and everyone knows each other. They probably know that a girl who goes around slapping people is a bit unbalanced. As much as I hate saying this, because it is assault, it might be better to choose your battles and let it go for the sake of keeping the peace. Option B, go to the police. She assaulted you. You have your friend to corroborate your story. She can deal with the fallout. Story 2. I would not speak to the other bartenders about it. I would make a comment to the owner. Nothing still may come of it, but the owner may be more concerned about their business than the other bartenders, so might be more likely to tell them not to physically assault their customers. Story 3. I agree with the poster who said either let it go or call the police. I try to avoid this type of talk, but this really is a case of a woman taking advantage of societal norms. Had this been reversed, the bartender likely wouldn't have survived the night. Story 4. You have witnesses, right? Report her for assault. Her being a woman does not excuse this. Also, that you must have deserved it sounds like a typical reaction towards this type of thing, especially from women. Story 5. What do you mean someone said it was okay? That is not okay at all, and this will be the inch that becomes a mile. So what if you might not be able to go to that bar again? Drink at home with friends if you must. Is it really worth it to be the person who lets people slap them for no reason? Story 6. Post a short review to Yelp or Google. I was talking to my friend when a bartender came out, talked for a few minutes, and then slapped me without provocation. Story 7. Personally, I would not go back there if she continued working there. So if they are not going to fire her, there is no reason not to go to the police. But that is just me. Story 8. I don't get it. What do you expect can happen? It was several hours ago. Depending on the situation, I would have slapped her back. But I would definitely just get on with my life after I had slept on it. Dude, just let it go, man. Story 9. If it were me, I would press charges and sue the establishment for saying it was deserved when it clearly wasn't. Then open a new bar and ban the girl and her coworkers. Story 10. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's wrong. She shouldn't have slapped. But you're telling me you have zero clue as to why she slapped you? You asked her out before, but you were chatting in a friendly manner months later as if nothing had happened, and she slaps you out of the blue? What did you say right before she slapped you? There has to be something you aren't telling us. Story 11. Dude, nobody is going to listen to a man complaining that a woman slapped him in public, no matter how wrong it was. You have no good option but to let this go. Story 12. Apparently, some other person I sort of know said it was okay. Who is this random person and why would they think slapping you is okay? Frankly, I would not patronize that bar anymore. Story 13. Report it, document it, and complain to human resources. Today, overreacting to such sets a precedent. And if genders were reversed, you would get fired and a bad reputation all over Twitter and TikTok. Story 14. Go to the police. That's assault, and it's not okay just because you are a man. The bartender who laughed at you is sexist herself. Get that person arrested. Story 15. I feel like there's information missing here. Did she give an exact reason for slapping you? Or did she just walk up out of nowhere, slap you, and return to work without a word? Story 16. You were apparently assaulted for no reason and just want to let it go? Grow some courage and take action. Do not let people treat you like that, regardless of gender. Story 17. How old are you? It seems like we are only getting a selective telling of the tale. It is your word against hers, so unless witnesses want to come out in your favor, it still may be hard to get the authorities to prosecute given the nature of the crime. Finding a new place to hang out and move on is the lowest effort path. Story 18. Try to ask the girl in question why she did it and tell her it's not okay. If she doesn't want to talk, just move on. I think most people are on your side, but trying to take legal action over something like this seems too far for me personally. Story 19. Tell the bartender that whoever said it would be okay was wrong. Then leave it at that. Keep a note of when and where it happened and who you were with. If it happens again, then you can go scorched earth. Story 20. Sorry this happened to you, and you must have felt shocked and humiliated. I think you should bring the girl you were with as a witness if you decide to file a report, and certainly talk to the manager. However, since you don't want to burn bridges, you can stop going to this bar for a week or two until everything cools down and is forgotten. Then, when you go back, just ignore her. She'll apologize for sure. If she doesn't, keep ignoring her. But you have to think about something important. Since this bar really didn't care about what happened and didn't care about you as a person and as a customer, do you really need such a bar in your life? Because I am sure there is a better bar, maybe further away. Drive or walk more or pay more. Honestly, a place where you are not respected or appreciated is not worth visiting. This is not the community you thought you had. Story 21. So you're just in the middle of a normal conversation when, out of nowhere, with no warning, prompting, or context, you get slapped in the face. Doesn't sound believable to me at all. You need to either figure out a better way to explain this random act of unprompted violence or admit more about the situation to make it make sense. Story 22. Let it go. If that's the only boundary, you are just going to make it a big deal and you won't get anywhere, but you'll never be allowed back. If she starts messing with you again and you want to be bold, then you can just let her know that if she ever touches you again, you will hit her back or press charges. Story 23. Have sex with her mother, marry her mother, get her written out of the will, spend all of the money, adopt her. When her mother passes away, take away her phone and ground her. Story 24. The proper response would be to act cool and unfazed. I've only been slapped one time by a girl after I called her out. Basically, I played it cool, and she tried really hard to be with me that night. So I won. Turned her down hard, by the way. Story 25. Tough situation. Everyone is going to assume she had a reason to slap you. I personally would just let it go and leave the area she is in if she ever shows up around you again. Story 26. If it's a small town, my approach would be much different. First of all, for the friend who told them it was okay, I would address them firmly and make it very clear just how little you think of that girl. Then urge the friend to pass it along. Second, I would spread what happened. I would make sure everybody knew exactly what happened and why it happened. Oh, hey, do you know that person? She's crazy. And then tell them what happened. If she did it unprovoked, as you say, then I would make sure that people knew. I wouldn't go broadcasting it and obsessing over it, but I would definitely spread it around as necessary to those in the area. I would embarrass her greatly, but that's just me. Haha. Story 27. If you're unsure, try asking your friend who witnessed it. If she suggests you do something about it, then you know she supports you. If she says she doesn't know or leaves it up to you, maybe let it go, or spend time with your friend in front of the bartender who slapped you to make her jealous, as that seems to be the reason she slapped you. Just be more cautious around her. Story 28. Women have it easy in life. Women are also incapable of taking accountability for their actions. In her mind, she did nothing wrong. In most women's minds, she did nothing wrong. Even if you filed a police report, the police wouldn't care to help because everyone knows it's only assault if a man commits it. Not only that, but people would look at you like you're in the wrong. Women face no challenges in life and have it easy. No one holds them accountable. Story 29. I had to re-edit this because the entire first paragraph somehow disappeared. Gremlins. Move. Tactical examination of all other options indicates they are likely to have bad outcomes or result in failure. You need a bigger fish tank to swim in. Alternatively, accept it. We live in a society where men hitting women is vile and criminal, which it is, but women hitting men is often comedic. The more you tell people about it, the more it will demean you, or they will suspect you did something to deserve it. Don't make things complicated where you work. Bartenders are there to provide drinks, and they don't appreciate being hit on by patrons making bad choices. Apologize for offending her by asking her out, but also point out you didn't think you deserved a slap. She might think otherwise, and maybe the conversation will end with you getting banned from the only bar in town. Before asking women out in the future, add a preamble like, "Please don't be offended, but," and then add your request. I am not saying you did this, but don't ask women out if you have had anything to drink or are otherwise inebriated. Carry pepper spray and defend yourself, or start your own bar. Good luck. Story 30. Honestly, let it go. It's one of those unfair double standards where women get away with things that would land a guy in jail. It isn't right, but it's life. Story 31. You press assault charges. Do this every time a woman puts hands on you. Women think they can do anything they want to men with legal impunity. Show them how wrong they are. Once she has the assault conviction on her record, sue her for the assault. It doesn't matter if you win or not, as long as it makes her life intolerable. Share this information on social media so all the other women can see what comes of assaulting men. Ruin her life and do it publicly. Story 32. 1. Get the bar surveillance footage as soon as possible. Probably gets deleted within a couple of days. Get a lawyer. File a police report and use your friend's testimony along with the surveillance footage. A bunch of money and time later, no profit. Story 33. Does it meet the technical definition of assault? Yes. You would be within your rights to pursue it as such. But if it were me, I would really be considering, was I in any way injured or traumatized by the event? Are there any damages for which I can provide evidence and expect compensation? Or did someone slap you, your face stung for a minute or two, and that was it? And if that was it, is that worth getting someone fired and potentially damaging relationships in a town without many connections to lose? If it were really bothering me, I might find it worth reporting to the owner so that if it is or becomes a pattern, they have the data point. But more than likely, I would just leave it be. Story 34. Quit playing games. Being physically assaulted is not a situation for saying, "I'll talk with the staff, and we'll decide what to do together." Go to the police and press charges. That's exactly what would have happened to you if this was the other way around, as well as getting your skull stomped on by everyone else in the bar. Double standards have to go. Story 35. Personally, I would talk to the bar's owner about it. Forget her, if a man hit a woman, he would be fired on the spot and likely face a criminal charge. It's a two-way street. She needs to learn a lesson. Story 36. The sad reality is that it is far easier for her to turn this into something it isn't than it seems it would be to get to the truth. If I'm honest, considering it's the only local bar, I would take note of what happened and be wary going forward, but taking specific action would be very difficult. I would also try not to be in the bar without friends with you in case they try something again. Story 37. Talk to the bartender and ask why she slapped you. Tell her you're not okay with it. Probably end it with, "So when I come here, I can count on you to not slap me for nothing, right?" Then maybe shake her hand. Edited to add, "It's way out of bounds to slap you like that." I'm not suggesting anything harsher than the above because it's the only bar in town, and I think this addresses the issue without burning you. Story 38. The girl bartender working laughed it off and said I must have deserved it. See, gentlemen? That's why you shouldn't believe the women are the primary victim of domestic violence narrative. I don't know if I should let it go or try and get her fired. That would be the best outcome. So far you did well, original poster. Story 39. People don't just randomly hit someone because another random person says it's okay to slap them. There's a hole in your story. I don't need to know or care why. If you truly don't know the answer to why or don't feel it was justified, speak to her about it and move on with your life. Sorry you got hit, and yes, there's a disparity between men and women hitting each other, but she hit you, not beat you. Sounds pretty minor. You don't get a girl you asked out 2 months ago fired for something like this, especially since there is obviously something else going on. Laugh it off. Story 40. You're receiving a lot of reactive advice that seems aimed at punishing her. Yes, she did assault you, but the assault is minor. Most district attorneys would decline to prosecute and suggest that you simply stop patronizing the business. Also, pursuing a legal case could make you unwelcome at the bar. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Personally, I'd let it go if there's no lasting harm. If you're really struggling with it, maybe try talking to her as an adult to understand if she had a reason or if it was a joke. Unfortunately, she likely has more social standing at the bar while you have less. Story 41. Don't let this situation go. Call the police on her and make sure she gets charges filed against her. Who cares if this is the only bar in town? Women get away with this behavior way too often. Chances are they have security cameras in there and you have the girl you were with to corroborate your story. If the roles were reversed, you would have been beaten by every guy in that bar and then they would have called the cops afterward. And if you really want to pursue this further, call a lawyer and sue the bar, the owner, and the bartender individually. Story 42. I suppose you could learn judo, and then the next time she assaults you, use a judo move to pick her up like a bowling ball and throw her away in self-defense. Story 43. Just don't ever go there by yourself. The female bartenders know they draw money and are probably protected. Just always be with a friend, or have them order the beer and bring it to the table. Story 44. It was strange not to have reacted at the time it happened, and it will be even stranger and most likely pointless to go to the police over a slap. You could confront her if she attempts to do anything like that again, though. Story 45. This is bizarre. I believe you, but how did it happen? Chatting, random slap, smile and walk off? Or random slap and disappear? Certainly assault. Good job not following it up and staying cool.